people have to understand that this court is bullshit. And I think, what's his face? Who's that guy who defended Nestle's
Neil Katyal.
Yeah, Katyal, yeah.
Neil
that
Katyal
fucking
wrote some comment to the thing. Sort of funny that they
Very
found
weird.
Very weird. Yeah, very weird. Grow up. I mean, actually, that's the wrong admonition because he knows. He's just trying to make sure that he maintains a relationship with the Supreme Court. But don't say anything publicly then, because it's damaging to the body politic when you diminish this level of hypocrisy. It's damaging. You should shut up. You want to protect your ability?
He's referring to a guy on Twitter who was protesting the current state of the court when he was defending some insane shit. Fuck, can anyone find me the article of that guy's of that guy's thing with Nestle? But yeah, wait, hold on. Prominent anti-Trump attorney asks Supreme Court to let companies off the hook for child slavery. Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Prominent anti-Trump attorney, child slavery. Great Google name there. Good. Here we go. Neil Katyal. Yeah. Fuck this guy, dude. I remember this. Neil Katyal's legal theory on behalf of Nestle and Cargill may be too extreme even for this ultra-conservative court. On Tuesday, the Supreme Court confronted a seemingly simple question. If an American corporation aids and abets child slavery in a foreign country, can its victims sue the country in American court? Given SCOTUS has repeatedly granted corporations the same rights as actual humans, you might think the answer is obvious. But it isn't, because the same justices who think corporations deserve free speech and religious liberty do not believe they should be saddled with the same legal responsibilities as real people. Neil Katyal, who defended the companies accused of abetting child slavery, proposed an extreme theory that would shield all corporations from lawsuits under a crucial federal law. A majority of justices might not be ready to adjust this. Insane. He's a ghoul, a demon. He is a demon person, this man. A demon human. United Fruit Company vibes. Yeah, I really like, liberal corporatism, because these are people who will, like, who will gasp at the idea of a person being homophobic, you know, at their brunch or whatever. But then they'll go on to explain how, like, actually Nestle, you know, using child slavery is a necessary component of free market forces uplifting that country. You know, classism is a kind of bias. It's a kind of bigotry, after all. This case involves a class action lawsuit filed by 6 citizens of Mali. These individuals were allegedly trafficked to the Ivory Coast between 12 and 14, forced to work on cocoa plantation for no pay and little food, regularly whipped and tortured. One plaintiff tried and failed to escape, and when he was caught, his overseers allegedly cut the soles of his feet, rubbed chili pepper into the wounds, then tied him to a tree and beat him until he sustained severe permanent injuries. Such atrocities in the Ivory Coast cocoa plantations are well documented. The plaintiffs also claim that 2 U.S. corporations, Nestle and Cargill, aided and abetted their enslavement. Both companies knew their suppliers enslaved children and continued to provide financial and technical assistance to cocoa plantations. The companies allegedly exerted substantial influence over the plantations to maintain the supply of cheap cocoa even after discovering human rights abuses. This company, the plaintiffs allege, rendered the companies liable under Alien Tort Statute, first passed in 1789. The ATS gives federal courts authority to hear lawsuits filed by foreigners alleging a violation of international law. In theory, ATS should put America at the vanguard of human rights protection. Time and time again, the court has strictly limited the ATS's application despite strong evidence it was meant to be interpreted broadly. So this is another way the founding fathers would have been turning in their graves. There are a lot of things set out early in this country that the Supreme Court has kept their foot on the entire time. Like, they're right, the Alien Tort Statute should have made, like, American corporations incredibly, like, vulnerable to lawsuits for international rights abuses, but the court, like, protects corporations more than anything. Like, the court just keeps... Yeah. 2 years ago, by a 5-4 vote, conservatives granted foreign corporations immunity from ATS lawsuits. Jesus. On Tuesday, Catchell asked the court to expand this immunity to American corporations, meaning, in effect, no corporations could be sued under the statute. Yeah. Because it would place U.S. firms at a competitive disadvantage compared to other companies and countries. Catchell also claimed the international community does not support holding corporations responsible for violation of international law. For support, he pointed out Nuremberg prosecutors declined to prosecute the firm that supplied Zyklon B gas, which the Nazis used to kill millions. Holy shit, dude. He's citing the fact that the Nuremberg prosecutors didn't go after the Zyklon B suppliers as evidence that he's in the right about not allowing Nestle to be sued. What good company you hold yourself in? Jesus Christ. That's a horrific defense. Yeah, dude, Nazi collaborators got away with it. Why can't we? That's literally the argument here. Catchell's arguments had a surprisingly chilly reception at the Supreme Court. Justice Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas, no friend of the ATS, noted that while there may not be an international norm allowing corporate liability, plaintiffs say there is an international norm against slavery. Even Clarence fucking Thomas was like, okay, my dude, my guy. Fuck, dude. Justice Elena Kagan, fuck, drilled down at Catchell's theory that no corporation can ever be sued under the ATS. Kagan asked Catchell if a former child slave could sue an individual slaveholder under the law. Catchell said yes. Kagan then asked if a former child slave could sue 10 slaveholders under the law. Catchell said yes. Finally, Kagan asked if those 10 slaveholders form a corporation, could a former child slave sue it? Catchell said no. A corporation of slaveholders would be immune because there is no specific norm of liability under international law. Jesus Christ. I gotta make my, I gotta make my, I gotta make my Vosh company, my, LLC.
Child slavery, not aiding and abetting it, but the offense itself, is that a violation of a specific universal and obligatory norm?
We're not, yes, I think we're not challenging that here. It's just the
Okay, so if that's right, could a former child slave bring a suit against an individual slaveholder under the ATS?
So if it weren't extraterritorial and it wasn't
yeah, no problem extraterritorial, no problem aiding and abetting, just a straight suit.
Correct.
Okay, and could this same former child slave under the same circumstances bring a suit against 10 slaveholders?
If they met the requirements under the law, yeah, sure. I mean, if it was
okay. So if you could bring a suit against 10 slaveholders, when those 10 slaveholders form a corporation, why can't you bring a suit against the corporation?
Because the corporation requires an individual form of liability under a specific norm of under international law.
So he's defending it. He's prescriptively defending the idea that forming a corporation should shield you from legal liability from your former slaves.
Which doesn't exist here. I think Sosa and
I guess what I'm asking is, like, what sense does this make? This goes back to Justice Breyer's question. What sense does this make? You have a suit against 10 slaveholders. 10 slaveholders decide to form a corporation specifically to remove liability from themselves, and now you're saying you can't sue the corporation?
Justice Kagan, I think that's exactly the question you and others repeatedly asked in Jesner, and the court found no foreign court liability because of these policy risks.
I'm just asking for a reason.
Right, and the reason, I think there are two different reasons. One is that the cite to Malesko from Jesner shows when you go after individuals, you often can go after the true wrongdoers. Once you go after the corporate form, you get bogged down with questions of mens rea in a collective enterprise, which
There's
is
an amicus brief. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Coghill. There's an amicus brief by Professor Hathaway that details the long history of imposing liability on slave ships. Those were not individuals, were they?
No, and Justice Kagan, we don't doubt that Congress can pass a statute to expand to have corporate liability, but no.
Fucking ghoul. Okay, I'm sorry.
To be a solicitor in front of the Supreme Court, God bless. Shut up.
It's really one of those days where terms of service is just a tremendous wall, just a great barricade containing the might of my infinite soul. My deep oceanic soul is contained by a great dam called TOS.
In public. Don't tweet. Don't go on CNN or MSNBC and spread your BS. If you have nothing truthful and insightful to say nothing at all. I mean, really, people need to be held to account. They really do. And then folks need to understand that all of this stuff that we're seeing in terms of individual rights is also happening with far less glitz and gleam and shine in terms of government's ability to protect workers, to protect citizens, to protect our air, to protect our environment, to protect our food, our water, to protect our financial systems, to protect people's homes. I mean, on and on and on. The assault is going to continue. And we don't have a lot of tools to stop it. Electoralism is not nearly sufficient, but it is absolutely necessary. Come at me and tell me again about the value of your vote for some third-party candidate and why it was a joke to vote based upon the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, I just want to say, by the way, any lefties who are like clearly former Bernier busters who are like, blaming anything on Hillary Clinton or whatever, as far as I'm concerned, they're complicit. Like, not to put too big of a point on this, but if you're looking at what's happening right now with 3 conservative court justices appointed by Trump because Hillary didn't win, and thinking, well, this is, whatever, like, yeah, like, you're insane, and you are as connected to reality as the fundamentalist Christians who are tearing the country apart, like, you're absolutely insane. You're so ego-driven. It's just so obvious that you just want to hold on to that anger, and you can't move past it. I know Mike from PA did this because he's a retard. Yeah, like, I'm fully aware of that. Like, what the fuck does this even mean? What, like, how, like, way to turn this, like revocation of our civil rights into, like, a I told you so, except you're, like, empirically wrong on the I told you so. Like, it's like your mom gets cancer, and you tell your friend, and your friend is like, huh, I fucking told you it was gonna rain today, and it's sunny. Like, that's what he's doing right now. It's so fucking bad. Fuck. He's not wrong? No, he is wrong. This isn't... Listen, okay? As compared to Mike from PA, your average liberal Hillary Clinton supporter from 2016 is a shining example of proletarian might, okay? They're the goddamn vanguard of the workers' revolution compared to this. He is extremely wrong. He is, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, as wrong as it is possible to be. I don't think you can be more wrong than that.
People need to educate themselves. It doesn't matter what policy you're in favor of. It doesn't matter. With a court like this, both houses and the president, although Biden said he wouldn't, could sign Medicare for all tomorrow. And it would be struck down by this time next year, before it even got implemented. And if you think otherwise, that's insane. That's insane. Honestly, it's insane to think otherwise. They couldn't even get Medicaid to be expanded with this court.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a position that was a compromise position. That John Roberts got thrown under the bus in the pages of the Wall Street Journal before. And why he lost this round when it came to Roe v. Wade.
God, I love Sam. I don't actually know how to impeach a... Ha! If you type in, at least for me, how to imp... It finishes with how to impeach a Supreme Court justice. That's funny. Of one mind. If a majority of the members of the U.S. House of Representatives vote to impeach, the impeachment is referred to the Senate for trial. A conviction requires a 2/3 vote in the Senate. No shot. Never gonna happen. Where is the where is the procedure for the impeachment of a court justice enshrined? Is it law or is it like constitutional? Is it in the Constitution? I don't know.